Hello, this is Jason the teacher, and today we are going into the Planetary Races series. Today we are going to talk about the Lyrans. Now, who are the Lyrans, and where are they from, and what are their objectives on this planet? The Lyrans, according to various sources in its universe, the oldest race of Nordic-looking extraterrestrials. They are obviously from the Lyra constellation. The Lyrans are extremely advanced race of Nordic extraterrestrials who are the forefathers of the extraterrestrials. Though according to some sources, the Pleiadians were originally created by reptilian groups from Draco. Either way, the Lyrans have extremely advanced technology, maybe even more advanced than the Pleiadians. Both the Pleiadians and Lyrans are partners in the seeding of Earth and other planets. Some channelers have described the relationship between the Lyrans and Pleiadians versus the Sirians and Orions as a war, but I describe it more as a rivalry. Most people, when they hear Lyrans, they only think of the Nordic types, but Vegas is a part of the Lyra constellation as well. The Vegans are much darker, and they tend to range from East African looking beings to Aborigines to modern East Indians. But more like the older, more indigenous type East Indians, Dravidians. The Lyrans, Pleiadians, and the Vegans, Sirians, and Orions eventually had disagreements in the past when it came to their ability to seed evolutionary planets. If an evolutionary planet is a planet that is in quarantine and is not allowed to make contact with the greater galactic community, the Vegans and Sirians, green plant beings who can take any racial form, seed this planet first and gave birth to the many snake races of the past. Lemuria, Africa, and southern India. The Pleiadians with backing from the older, more powerful Lyrans came to this planet, and eventually, along with the Sirians. By this point, the Vegans focused more on the Nagas Empire of India, started in Atlantis. The Lyrans in general tend to live to be 400 to 500 years old. They look exactly like Nordics of this planet, though they tend to be a little more lighter skinned than even the most fair Scandinavians. Through this universe, their rivals describe the Lyrans as an extremely advanced elder race who tends to exaggerate their power. The Lyrans are no different than their Pleiadian cousins, the Andromedans, the Anunnaki wing, and the host of other extraterrestrial races. They will come and pick up their children and then take them to another location to continue. The agreement was for the newer races or alien groups to use the Earth as a school to teach their children the ways of the ancients from Sirius. The Earth itself is the property of the sometimes friends Okay, I'm reading off the screen. I think you can tell, but I'm looking at this article here about the Lyrans. Yeah, use Earth as a school to teach the children different ways of the ancients from Sirius. The Earth itself is a property. Sometimes. What? Okay, whoever typed this didn't know how to type. The Earth itself is a property of the Vegans. Sometimes the Lyrans, but the Lyrans came and took over when the actually Vegans were here first. And what happened was that they were having a dispute, and the Vegans eventually left. They left. They were driven out by the Lyrans. So the Lyrans came and started their colonies here, and then later on the Vegans came back to take the Earth back over. So for that are evolved, but not as much as they would be. They will be taken to the new evolutionary planets and other constellations. For totally materialistic souls, they will have to experience this matrix all over again, but this time a more dreadful version that is totally cut off from the rest of the world. The races before Adam, as well as the immortal groups on Earth and underground, will all share the same world. Now, a lot of alien races, including the Draconians, renegade Pleiadians, Lyrans, as well as some disgruntled Anunnaki and Luciferians, are trying to hold the vibration or evolution of the Earth's collective consciousness. They even have made up a fake galactical federation who claims to speak for the elder races of this galaxy. This group, who are responsible for most of the extraterrestrial information released to the public, as well as their partners, Majestic 12 and the Illuminati, hope to shift the collective consciousness away from the true ascension, ninth dimension and up, to an inferior version of ascension, fifth and sixth dimensional ascension, that is being passed along as higher frequency information. So they have in a certain way exaggerated the power of ascended masters like Saint Germain, John Dee, etc., etc. Note they are many ascended masters of European descent, but usually even those ascended masters are sort of stuck between the fifth or sixth dimensions. Earth is destined for a much greater ascension process, and it will get there, but what these rogue groups, the Earth versions, are trying to do is buy more time for their intergalactic brethren to get them off this planet. Okay. So, the Lyrans are actually a peaceful race. They, very nice people, loving people. Yes, their technology is great, but I hear the Arcturians have nice ships too. But we're talking about Lyrans, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the video here. This is just a brief description of the Lyrans and where they come from and what their mission is here on Earth. Namaste and luck catch, and remember now, don't be mean, play nice.